So, hi deities, it's Monday the 8th of June, and thank you very much for tuning into episode 3 with goddess, DJ, model and makeup artist Taliaa Darling. And then at 8 p.m. I'll be doing episode 4 with drag artist Virgin X. This is MonDeities, an Insta live series with me, Zanditon. In case this is your first time tuning in, which it very well might be, considering we're really only on episode 3. This is my space to talk to other deities on a Monday night, and I create avant-garde spiritual kink. My message is to harness the power of your inner warrior deity, so recognizing the universe in yourself, and I create with a queer, sex, body positive, femme perspective on fetish and BDSM. It has been another very intense week, and many of us have been balancing actions and activism, both online and in the world. Black Lives Matter is a marathon, not a sprint, so it's been a real process of, taking action and then also conserving our energy and focusing our energy. It's also Pride Month, and there is a lot of amazing intersectional deities who I have been amplifying through my Instagram stories, and also another thing I'd like everyone to go and watch, if you haven't watched it yet, is the brilliant documentary on the death and life of Marsha P. Johnson, which you'll find on Netflix. So whether you are queer or an ally, we have so much to thank Marsha P. Johnson for, and Sylvia Rivera, so please do go and watch that. Also, huge thank you to The Advocate for featuring our Pride times Stonewall Housing choker in their 10 queer things to get you through virtual Pride. So thank you so much for that. A quick heads up as well, something I just want to say before we welcome Taliaa, is that it is an action. Oh, we're back. Okay, I think we're back. Guys, are we back? Hello everyone. I was just in the middle of saying that it is not Taliaa's job to educate everyone. So whatever Taliaa wants to share, we're going to be focusing on Taliaa's creativity and her work. And please remember, if you are white, that it is not the job of your black friends to educate you. We have to go and look for that education ourselves, but definitely also listen when people do want to talk, and remember that we should neither censor nor expect things, but we have to think about that. So just wanted to say that as well. This series will be coming to you every Monday from this account at Zanditon Couture, and yes, and then I will be reposting on Fashion Unfucked, and also the link to the YouTube channel is on Fashion Unfucked. And when I put the videos up onto YouTube, I post a lot of the links from topics. Here is my lovely Taliaa. Oh my goodness. So yes, I post a lot of extra links in the YouTube videos, so please do go check out the YouTube channel. Hi gorgeous, how are you?
I'm good, how you doing?
I'm good, it's so nice to see you.
You too.
How have you been?
You know, I've been really good. I've been, I think the beginning of lockdown was a bit rough for me. I'm so used to people being around me and being like a DJ, I'm used to loads of parties.
Yeah. I was kind of fine because I'm an introvert who stays at home, but you're like out there in the world all the time, so it must have been crazy.
Yeah, it was a lot of reflection that I've done this past I don't know how long it has been.
Ages.
Time, a lot of reflection. But I'm alright. I'm alright now. It's been difficult being a black woman currently, just seeing what I've seen like throughout my whole life, but now other people are seeing it. It's interesting.
Yeah.
I think that's the word to put it. It's interesting, and I know interesting can mean so many things, and that's why I use it.
It's a good word.
Yeah, definitely interesting. But yeah, I know. Other than that, I've been all right. I've been decent.
Good. I'm very glad to hear that. So Talia, you're a multidisciplinary, multi-talented goddess, DJing, modeling, and makeup. I'm curious to know which one of those things came first, or has it always been interwoven for you?
Do you know what? The first thing, I can't forget my roots, my foundation. There is a pun there. I've been a makeup artist. That came first. I've been a makeup artist for 7 years now.
Wow.
Yeah, I dropped out of college a year and a half into 2 years and was like, I don't know what to do. And I sort of liked makeup. And then I found this course because at the time I was like, if I don't have any A levels, I'm gonna be dumb, and it's a horrible word, but that's how I felt at the time.
It's really interesting, that period of time, because I feel like the system puts so much pressure on people to have a certain type of qualification, but then what's right for each person is so different. So what was the course that you found?
So I found a course at the LCBT. It was hair and beauty. Mm-hmm. So I'm actually qualified beautician. So I can do all the tanning, all the eyelash extensions, eyebrows, all of that.
Yeah.
I did my level 2, and then but when I did that, it was just because I never thought that makeup was like a proper career. I did that and was just to pass the time. And then I was like, oh, I'm pretty good at this. So I did my level 3.
It's such a proper career.
You know what? It's unfortunate that the education in the institutions don't let you see the creative arts for what it is. You sort of think it's a hobby or a side thing. And then when I did my level 3, I was like, it was at that time that everyone was a makeup artist. Like, you had a makeup brush and that was it. That's all you needed. So I was like, how do I set myself apart from the rest? And so I was like, I'm gonna do a degree in this. I'm gonna spend $9,000 a year to do this.
Wow, it's a commitment. But
yes.
So
I did my degree at LCF.
Yeah.
So I know you're alumni. Yes, big up LCF. I did a hair and makeup for fashion, but it was also a creative direction course. So yeah, makeup came first, and then so I've been a makeup artist for 7 years, and then DJ and modeling in the last 2 years. Right. So there's still baby things.
But how did the DJing happen?
Again, it's a weird one. Me, I always say I am a creative person, and whatever medium I use, like, it could be any medium. So even before makeup, I was actually in advertising, right, and graphic design. But that's another story for another day.
Goodness, there's so many layers.
That is another story. Literally, but from 14 to 17, wow. I worked with big brands. I have a game out with Nokia and all of that, like. But that is for another day.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, that very much makes sense what you just said about your creative being, and whatever medium it is, you just
so I've always been into events. So throughout my makeup, I've always been doing events and starting different, like, I had a couple club nights, did some stuff at the BFI, and then I really wanted to learn how to DJ as a hobby.
I love all these hobbies.
As a hobby. And me with my brain went ticking. I was like, okay, how can I learn how to DJ, but also try and make money at the same time?
I mean, that's the clever thing to do, right?
Yes. So I had a friend who was a DJ, and I was working at the Arcola Theatre. And they gave me some space, and I was like, right, I'm going to put on a DJ workshop, a DJ school. Okay. But I'm going to learn how to DJ, have this DJ workshop, and have a club night all at the same time.
That's amazing.
So I basically facilitated this workshop, called it Crossfade, and then my friend Andrew, he taught. I facilitated the whole thing, but also was learning at the same time. And it was a 6-week course. The first one went great, and I was like, oh, I really like this. I want to learn how to like continue this. And one thing about me is I know how to market myself. Yeah. So as soon as I learned how to DJ, I was like, right, I'm a DJ. Like, that's it. And then started a little crew with my mates. And yeah, we just began DJing, and Crossfade continued. So I think by the fourth, I think I taught the fourth one, which was the last one. Yeah. So that is how the DJing came up.
I was going to ask you about Crossfade, but since it's already come up, I'll ask you about it now. Because on your Crossfade, which I will link in the YouTube video of this, I'll put a link to it. But with Crossfade, is that something that you can do online, like via Zoom, or is it something that you have to do in person?
I would, for you to get, I think, the actual experience of DJing, you'd have to do it in person.
Right.
Especially because we're learning on CDJs, on decks.
Right.
So I wouldn't, you could do like tasters and things like that. Yeah. And also I've got a controller, which is a smaller version at home. Mm-hmm. So you could, but I feel like the whole experience that you got within Crossfade works in person and for 6 weeks, if that makes sense.
No, that makes complete sense. And it's really, it's just really interesting how many amazing things we all have as creatives at the moment, that we're waiting for this moment to pass so that we can get back to being able to do many things.
Sorry, I've been really dense, and I've just like put all the words up in the comments, so I can't see anything. Okay, cool. It's gone now. It's fine. I just have to write something.
Oh no, that's okay. Don't worry. So your link is the link, guys, is pinned to Talia's link tree, and that has many awesome links on it. So you actually did your first catwalk with me, and especially as the theme of, oh my god, thank you, and the theme of the show is quite like out there.
I remember when I came to your studio and you was like, okay, listen, bear with. And you told me, like, I was like, okay, cool, Talia, you're going to do this. This is interesting.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having faith in me, because I think, like, as a designer, you feel very responsible for the models that you work with, especially when I'm working in kink and, like, fetish, and the show was at Torture Garden, and you guys are all young, I mean, and I'm like checking like your grandmother, like, is everyone over the age of 18?
Yes. Did we do that like 2 years ago?
It was last year.
Was it last year?
That crazy? It was May last year.
Oh my gosh.
I know. Yeah. It just feels like 2 years because of Corona.
Yeah. Corona's been a year.
It's been a year already. But I just wondered, like, what was the experience like actually like being doing like that kind of performance-y show for you for the first time?
Do you know what, it was a brilliant experience. I couldn't ask for like a better first time to sort of like have my catwalk debut, if you want to call it that. It was great. I have always, it's interesting, when I did the makeup, that was me being backstage, because being a makeup artist, you're backstage. But growing up, I'd always done musical theatre and performed, so in that sense I was in my element, the performance stage. And it's something, it's so weird that it just clicks once you're on stage. Like, you can do so many rehearsals and it's like, oh, okay, cool, it's like 80%. But when I went up the first time, I was like, yeah, this is it, like the lights and everything. I loved it. It was walking in heels, which I absolutely don't enjoy.
I'm sorry.
No. It was brilliant because also it helped me walk better though.
Yeah.
It was a fabulous
experience. We do talk to people for a reason.
It was a brilliant experience. I loved my piece that I was wearing, and yeah.
And the other thing I loved is that when you went out on stage, and this happened both at that show and the show we did at He, She, They, was the way the audience react to you. Because I've worked with a lot of models, and I'm sorry to I hope I'm not going to embarrass you, but honestly, I've never had people literally scream, just scream at the top of their lungs, with sheer excitement for someone walking onto the stage. Before
you know
you've done
it's
anything,
nice.
People just lose their fucking minds. And I just wondered if one, what's that like for you to experience, and why do you think that that's the reaction that you get?
A couple of things. I think because now I've observed how I walk, there is a bounce that I do have that you can't help but just be like, oh, cool, something's happening. But also I think people are still not used to seeing a big person on stage.
Yeah.
So I think that's what it is as well. They are happy to see that I'm doing something and representing for other people.
Yeah.
And doing it just as well as the smaller models.
Yes.
And I think that as well is what
what makes people excited.
Yeah.
I feel people feel like they have permission to feel excited in a different way because you see that it's a space for everyone, not just for one type of person. And I think that kind of makes people feel really excited in a way that you don't get that kind of response. Or even if someone is different in another way, it's not necessarily about, there was that model whenever before Corona who did that really extreme walk, and everyone was just obsessed with his walk.
Right.
And I think that, do you know what I mean? In fashion, when we put some uniqueness and difference onto the catwalk, I think that people feel a lot more included because they don't just see the cookie cutter image.
Definitely. Yeah. 100%.
And what other catwalk shows have you been part of since that show?
Since that show, I've only done one. I don't do many catwalks.
Okay.
But I want to get into it more because I absolutely love it. But the last one I did was in November for the Curve Fashion Fest. And I walked for Pretty Little Thing, Snag, Blue Vanilla, and Topsy Curvy. And that again was insane. Absolutely enjoyed that walk. Because, and it was so interesting because watching the videos after and watching everyone else's, my energy is very different to everyone else's. So
most people's energy is I'm here, I'm doing this, and your energy is I am the universe. Yeah,
and also it was different because if I've modeled alongside smaller models, sometimes I feel like I have to give a bit more to just get that edge. But most of the models were big like me as well. So we're sort of all in the same boat.
Yeah.
But that was great. And we did that. I did that. I think I had to walk, officially there was 4 catwalks.
Yeah.
But I had to change outfits.
That's always tricky.
Yes.
Isn't it?
And that was the first time.
A marathon.
That was the first time I had changed outfit and backstage.
Oh, wow.
Whereas, because with you, there was only the one. And so it was the first time changing outfits and just walking off and throwing things everywhere. I need this and this sock. And bless the helpers that were literally, when I was walking for Snag tights, I had to open the tights out and I just slotted my legs in. It was,
it's a really shocking experience
it
for models,
really
I think. Like, for all models, it's such a shock the first time you do multiple outfits on a show, and then suddenly it's like this team of munchkins descend on you and just like
literally, it was insane. And then you have to then like switch your energy, because that's not the energy for the catwalk that you need.
Yeah.
So it's still big, but you just have to come in and with something different. It was insane. I do enjoy catwalks, and I would love to do more.
I would love to see you do more. And also recently you've signed to CRUMB modeling agency.
Yeah.
So that's so awesome. How did that happen, come about?
Do you know what? They slid into my DMs.
Oh my God, yes.
They slid into my DMs. I was really grateful for that. It was so funny how it happened, because I think they CRUMB followed me and then liked 2 of my pictures, and I was like, that's weird. Cool. Okay, for an agency to do that, I was like, okay, they've got their eye on me.
Yeah. And
like the cheeky girl I am, I was like, let me check my DMs to see if there's something there. I checked, and it was like, have you got UK representation? I was like,
yay! That's so great. I love that.
Yeah, so I've actually been signed to them since I think March.
Yeah.
On a different type of contract, and then I got an exclusive contract a month ago, I think. Yeah. So that was great.
And have you been able to start doing any modeling during this period of time?
Unfortunately not. So I'm signed with them to DJ Anthem Adore.
Oh, cool.
I haven't been able to do anything with them yet, but they've been really supportive of just the things that I'm doing on my own page, like resharing, shout outs and that sort of thing. So I haven't been able to because of the situation, but I'm looking forward to, and I know quite a few people that are signed with them, so yeah, I'm excited. I think good things are going to come out of that.
Definitely. It's really great that it's sort of like, even though we've, this whole period of lockdown, it's great to know that there's that ahead to look forward to.
Definitely.
And then you were part of a documentary called The Fat Feeling, which was exploring body acceptance and fat phobia. What was it like to be part of the team creating that? And let's start with that. What was it like to work on that?
Yeah, so that's actually my film.
Oh, amazing. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
That's also mine. I also did that. Continue.
That is mine. Do you know what? So I did that for my final major project at university.
Wow.
And obviously I did a hair and makeup course, but they're so like free, like do whatever you want as long as you meet this and this. So I knew that I wanted to do it on being fat. And I wanted to go deeper. I didn't want it to be superficial, just surface stuff. So how that came about was obviously the project at uni, and then I had you have to do a substantial amount of work. So in that I did, I think, 3 editorial shoots, the documentary, and this like it's like a self-portrait sort of thing. And I put it all in a website, and that's how I handed it in. But so the film is the right, so get with me on this one. So the film is the interviews that I'm doing whilst I'm getting ready for the 3 shoots.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah. So it's like behind the scenes. So the first shoot was called Snacks. That's where your pieces.
Oh yes, that was,
where your pieces were featured. That was words we use instead of fat. So chunky, fluffy, jelly belly, plump.
Yeah.
And then I had a food associated with them, and that was that one. Then I had another one called two editorials, Snacks and Body Party. And Body Party was just like, you know those Tumblr pictures you see, or Pinterest pictures, where there's a woman outside in a towel or lying on the bed, messy sheets, like bed head. I wanted to create that with fat bodies. That was literally it. And that was it. And the documentary, I just spoke to the models. So shout out Kitty Underhill, Hazel Ann, Mojo, and myself, just talking about what it was like growing up being fat, reclaiming the word fat. I don't use that as a derogatory term. And
neither do I, and I really want to encourage people not to, because I feel like another and a really interesting another layer to everything happening at the moment as well is that, and a post I was looking at just the other morning is that again, part of what society does is it makes this sort of like moral judgment on like the thin white body is good and the black fat body is less morally good, and just that is all just part of racism and part of that like, you know, structure of white supremacy. And so, and like deconstructing all of that is is what we have to, is what we're all
definitely
doing.
So that's what that documentary was about. I have the trailer is on my Instagram. I actually premiered it in Apple Store, which was wild, in Covent Garden.
Oh wow, that's so cool.
Yeah, it was a really good opportunity. I will put it out. I keep saying to people I'm gonna put it out, but it was supposed to go to Denmark, but then COVID happened. But
to a film festival.
To a film festival,
Cool.
I can't remember which one.
No, but that's amazing. Like, send it to as many festivals as you can.
Yeah, it's only 13 minutes.
It's a short film.
Yeah.
You made a short
Women
film
of the Lens. Yeah. I know. It's just I don't know. Sometimes I'm just like, you know, because when people are like, "Oh, you're a DJ, model, makeup artist," and like, "You're a filmmaker," I'm like, "I'm not a filmmaker, but I just made a film."
But I love that, and I think it's great to do things like that. And you know, as a designer, like we have to make fashion films sometimes. Like when I was doing Ready to Wear, I did some fashion films as well. And I think it is very much about like building your universe and like putting everything you want in that universe that you want to say as the unique goddesses that we are, and then just like, you know, allowing whatever form it wants to be, just letting ourselves like go for it and create it.
Definitely.
So now you've done all these amazing things, but kind of very curious to know, what's your like next dream photo shoot that you would want to do, or who in the industry, once we're allowed to like actually work with each other again in person,
want to touch someone.
I just want to touch people. Very that at this point, Talia. Don't even joke about it. But yeah, like, you know, which people would you like, what's the next things that you're dreaming of doing that you're happy to tell us about?
Do you know what, I just want to work with a bit more brands. I don't have any in particular, but I say bigger brands because they have a bigger audience, and to just
and they've got budget.
And they got the shmoney.
Yes.
Yeah, I just want to be able to show people my big black body.
Excellent. I love that. I'm fully support that.
And that's why I say bigger brands.
And bigger brands in like And as well, I think it would be so cool if a sportswear brand like Nike or someone like that could also, you know, work with you. I
Yeah,
think you're
definitely.
very much the person that they need, like, to, because the thing I love is that as well as DJing, modeling, you know, you also dance and you also sing.
Ah! So the singing, I have done for a very long time.
Yeah.
My mum, I grew up in the church. My mum was a praise and worship leader.
Okay.
So I spent a lot of time singing in church. Have so much love for gospel music. And my grandmother was a singer as well. So that was always been there. I
Yeah.
think that was, you know, the first career thing I went to. When you grow up, what do you want to be? I was like, a singer.
Yeah.
That was it. And then I started in secondary school doing drama, and then found musical theatre.
Yeah.
Did a lot of musical theatre, and I worked in theatre for a long time. The dancing is definitely very much a hobby.
That's okay. Hobbies are great. I mean,
Yes.
but you've said that it's a hobby about so many things that you excel at. So it's like very confusing.
Dancing is very much a hobby. I enjoy it. It's how I sort of fell it back in love with my body again.
I love
I
that.
was it makes me upset how disconnected from my body I was when I think about it. And yeah, dance really helped me. The curved catwalk really helped me just gain some more control, a bit
Yeah.
more love, knowing that I'm going to jiggle when I move, but it's all right. Like I've
It's
always,
beautiful and it's
yes,
great. Like,
I've
and we need to
always liked to
celebrate that.
dance in clubs, but was felt very restrictive of how my body was going to move, how people would perceive me. And then doing the curved catwalk just made me realize that, like, who cares what people think?
Like, literally, fuck it. And also
Who
that
cares?
people absolutely like love it and love you and love your
Hmm.
energy.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
yeah, dancing's definitely been one thing that has helped me on my journey, my plus size journey, my modeling. That literally, those two things go hand in hand, 100%.
And does makeup also factor into that as well? Like, do you feel like makeup can be part of like body positivity?
Um, yes, used in the right way.
Yeah.
Um, I for a long time I wore makeup and did not like my face. Didn't like my face at all. Um, I thought it had no definition to it. So I'll be going to the shop and I would have to wear makeup. Um, and I went to work. When I used to work, I had a full face of makeup on, shapewear, a bra that made my tits touch my chin, and I just had to be this prim and proper way in order for me to function. And if I didn't have makeup on, because for some reason, say I was late, that day I would automatically feel down. So I'd
Right.
leave the house and be upset. Um, and
And
then
that's,
I just
yeah,
had to
no, continue.
learn that makeup wasn't, it enhanced what I had there.
Yes.
Makeup wasn't to hide anything. And I feel like using the right way, you can just be so adventurous with it and creative. But I would say that it's not necessarily good if you're trying to hide something.
Definitely, like, fully agree with that
Yeah.
message. And I really feel like a lot of makeup brands could do a lot better job using that message. And
Hmm.
part of the reason that I started doing MonDeities is because I really wanted to remind everyone watching that people have value because of their intrinsic worth. Like, we wake up in the morning and we're human beings, and like, we are perfect as we are, and we deserve to be here, and we need to remember that and come back to that way of thinking about ourselves, because I feel like there's been so much marketing and messaging and social media and the way that's controlled our lives, and it's really damaged people's perspective on that, and kind of made people feel like, you know, and you know, that thing of like, I'm only an okay person in the world if I do X, Y, and Z to be acceptable because of this, or my worth as a human is tied up with this. But all of that is patriarchy and capitalism and bullshit, and we have to, you know, find a way. So, but what I'm trying to get to is, okay, so first of all, a very superficial question, and then a more deeper question.
Hit me.
But like, as a fabulous makeup artist, what kind of products, or what's like your favorite product that you feel is a product that really is a good product for enhancing what someone already has, as opposed to hiding?
My favorite product would have to be concealer.
Right.
I think, I don't know, I really enjoy it because, and it goes a little bit with like having to wear foundation all the time,
right.
just because, and then I sort of found concealer, and I was like, okay, I can just like touch up the little bits that I'm not too pleased with today. And I don't think there's anything wrong with today. I don't feel particularly nice in this way. But I would say that, and probably eyeliner.
Eyeliner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Depending on like if you have a wing, or just liner without the wing, it enhances the colour of your eyes.
I'm so bad at eyeliner, Talia.
Do you know what? I'm blessed to have a steady hand.
My hands are like
but there's so many tools. There's so many
yeah,
like stencils. That's it, stencils.
This
to use
is what I
eyeliner.
need to do. I need to get.
And do you know what? With makeup, and that's why there is definitely a difference between a makeup artist and like a makeup enthusiast.
Yeah,
that's one thing to do makeup on your face, your own face, but to do it on someone else's. Now, I've studied my face for 23 years.
Yeah.
So I know everything, but in an hour slot, I have to study your face and make it look on point.
So how do you do that? Like, what's the quick slicing process for assessing that?
It's just come with my education of learning how to do other people's faces. You have to identify what type of skin they have really quickly, oily, dry combination, what type of eyes. When they open their eyes, is there much eyelid there? Is it worth doing a detailed eye look if they don't have much eyelid?
Right.
Do they have are their eyelashes blonde? Do we have to make them darker?
Yeah.
Just little things like that. And it seems you would think it's easy being a makeup artist, but
but yeah, I know what you mean.
It shocks me, even when people are qualified makeup artists, the things that I have seen and heard, especially to do with darker skins tones and afro hair, it's atrocious.
Yeah.
Absolutely despicable. And I'm just like, really? Okay.
And what was it like at LCF? Did you learn how to do, what was it like at LCF? You don't want to talk about it.
You know what, LCF, brilliant institution. If you look at it on a global scale, we rank second best in the world. My course, however, I was one of 3 black girls in my class out of 40.
Wow.
And I had 1 black teacher. The education system for makeup needs to be changed. It's flawed.
Okay.
There is a big part missing. Because black people are, you know, a part of this world, I'm confused as to why we've been missed out in this. I saw it both with my level 2 course, level 2, 3, and my degree. We get a kit every when you start. It's sponsored by Mac.
Okay.
That kit is £1,000.
Wow.
And I was fortunate enough to get it on my student loan paid for it, but other people had to dish out £1,000.
Oh wow.
And they gave you, say, 4 foundations.
4,
and not one
4
of
for
them,
the whole of the human race. 4.
and I know that your kit is a starter kit. Your kit's ever growing. You add, you take things away, you realise you don't like this and stuff. But they had nothing for darker skin tones.
Wow.
And whereas MAC has these, like, okay, let's say a concealer palette, MAC has 6 shades on one, and that will be light, and then it'll go up to light, medium, dark. So say there's 10 in the range of MAC. LCF gave us 3. I wouldn't even mind if they gave us beginning, middle and end, but they gave us the first 3. And that was it. They gave us just these pastel colours that would not sit on my skin. I'm like, I paid £1,000 for this, because I can't give this £1,000 back.
Do with this?
So I still have to go out and buy a whole other kit. I had a teacher that put her hands in my hair. She was my hair teacher. I wasn't her model or anything.
Okay.
She put her hand in my hair and just went, what did she say? She was like, "Oh, this is lovely," or something like that.
Oh no! Oh god!
And then the same teacher, we have like.
Did you say anything?
Do you know what? Then I didn't.
That's okay. It's not your fault in any way.
Yeah.
She should not have done that.
There's a lot of things that I've stayed silent about within the industry and that I've been in, just because, again, there's also a way that a black person has to act. Unfortunately, there are repercussions to things like that, and I'm not a confrontational person anyway, talk about anything. So I used to struggle with calling people out. And she, even that same teacher, we have like mannequins that we learn on, and the hair, and she said, I'll never forget this, she said, if you can do this mannequin's hair, you can do anyone's hair in the world. And I was like, sis, you do realise all this is this, okay, and Afro hair is not a part of the curriculum. It's a masterclass that is off-site, that you have to go to a salon to do, and it's one time.
Wow.
Anyway, I could talk about this for days. Sorry.
I know. I mean, but another thing that I wanted to ask you about is things that you have been able to do during lockdown, which is, and you're part of the Cocoa Butter Club.
Yes.
And yay! And for everyone watching, the Cocoa Butter Club has an amazing tagline, which is decolonize and moisturize, which I just love that so much. And it's a cabaret collective dedicated to showcasing performers of color. How did you guys all come together, and how did that happen?
So the Cocoa Butter Club, when I was working in a theatre as a duty manager, they came and did a show here. Their producer is a good friend of mine, Cassie, and we used to work together at the Arcola, and then she came back with the show to the Arcola. It was a very interesting show, and then I was like, oh, I really want to work with them in my head, and then bear in mind I wasn't a DJ then either.
Right. This is before I'm going to run a school to teach myself to DJ moment. Just like genius. So I was in a very working in a very white place. Theatre is a white middle class thing. And there was a point in time when I was really disconnect. Oh, that's a nice pencil case. Oh god, I'm sorry, I've turned the screen around. I was trying to wave at people.
Love the pencil case.
Thank you. So you were working in the white middle class space of theatre, and the Cocoa Butter Club came in and
they
did
came
this
in. I was like, I really want to work with them, and then they put out a job to be one of their stage managers, and I was like, I've never been a stage manager before, but I have managed. It sounds weird. I have managed stage, so within theatre and things, but in the capacity they're talking about, never been a stage manager. But I applied for it and got the job, and I was like, this is brilliant. It opened my eyes to this new world of cabaret, drag kings, queens, pole dance, just every show. I'm like, oh my gosh, everyone's amazing. Yeah. And then started doing their social media, the Instagram page, and then become one of their resident DJs. So that has been brilliant. Shout out to Sadie, Cassie, and Cynthia. They are wonderful women that have helped me grow.
And you guys were part of the sort of marathon of drag that happened in April, which was so cool.
Yeah, that was really great. We had some amazing performers, and it's hard. I've missed them. I've missed performance because like at least every other week I was stage managing a show, DJing it or something like that. So I've missed them.
Yeah, I'm really hoping that everyone is able to like get back together, even if we have to do like performing outside in parks socially distanced. I'm really hoping that
just with your arms spread out.
Yeah.
Don't touch me, don't touch me.
Touch me, don't touch me.
Don't do it, please.
Please. Oh my god. Yeah, so I mean, it would be wonderful if even at some point this year, even if we have to do it, you know, outside and in under certain conditions, it would be great if
we were supposed to be at Mighty Hoopla on Saturday, which I was so gutted about. Absolutely gutted.
Sorry, what was that meant to be?
We were supposed to be at Mighty Hoopla.
Oh, right, okay.
On Saturday, just gone, where I was actually going to be there with the Cocoa Butter Club and the Curve Catwalk.
Right.
So I'm just thinking about all the shows that we had booked.
Like, oh, I know. Yeah.
Cries.
I know, cry. I could cry at this year, but we've got to stay hopeful. Finally, is there anything else, Talia, that you would like to plug or to talk about or direct people's attention to?
I'm gonna plug myself in the sense of just I really want to work with new people. I'm trying to level up. I'm trying to step up my game within DJing, modeling, makeup. I want to be able to collaborate with people. Even if it's more designers, like I've set up shoot spaces in the house.
Cool.
I'm utilising this lockdown.
Yes, DM Talia. Get connected with Talia.
DM me. Slide in the good old DMs.
Yes.
They're not full just yet where I'm just like, just use my email. But feel free to email me as well if you're not into DMs. I like to, on my feed, you will see body positive stuff, music, makeup, plus size fashion, and just, especially my stories, just me being an idiot. Enjoying
we love that. We love to just see you and be in your energy. It's great.
So yes, let's start cooking some stuff up for when we're out of lockdown.
Yes, please.
Definitely. All of that.
Oh, Talia, thank you so much. This has been amazing. Thank you so much for sharing so much with us. It's been such a delight to see you.
Yay! It's been lovely to see you too.
Oh, thank you. So I will be adding this to the IGTV series on Zanditon Couture and also to YouTube with lots of links to everything Talia's been talking about. And yeah, please make sure that you catch up with the whole episode if you didn't watch from the beginning, and please tune in again at 8 when we'll be talking with drag artist Virgin X. Mwah. Bye, everyone.